Howdy.
Hi.
Welcome to June 22nd.
June 22nd.
All right, let's get into it. The name of today's entry is The Definition of Insanity. Whose definition do you think it's going to be?
I would say maybe Marcus, I would say.
Okay, we're going with Epictetus today.
It's 2 for 2 now. Every time I guess, it's like this
It's
wrong.
wrong. I think you guessed Marcus both times.
Well, yeah.
Marcus is maybe the one
It
you
is.
know the
It
most
is really
about.
just a toss in the dark. But yeah.
Okay. Epictetus says, if you are defeated once and tell yourself you will overcome, but carry on as before, know in the end you'll be so ill and weakened that eventually you won't even notice your mistake and will begin to rationalize your behavior. Maybe it was Einstein whose definition of insanity was doing the same thing again, but expecting different results.
Mm-hmm. Doing the same thing again the same way.
Yeah.
And expecting different results, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if you got that from here, from this thing. But yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it's like when you're stuck in a loop and that happens. That definitely happened with me with yoga for a while, where I was like in the pattern of repeating the same behavior over and over again. And I didn't have a mentor or somebody in my life who could point out. My problem was like I knew that I was failing, but I did not know what piece of this whole situation do I change? Where do I start tinkering with it?
Didn't know what steps to take to.
It's like obviously I'm failing,
Yeah.
but where exactly am I failing in this? And so there is this importance of being able to diagnose the specific thing that needs to be changed for next time. Otherwise, it's trial and error. And trial and error is not insane because trial and error is at least I'm tinkering with it when I go to do it again. Because this is saying, no, it's like you doing it again but not tinkering with anything and just deluding yourself into thinking that this will work.
Let's try this again. I know this is going to work this time. And then you're not changing anything about the approach or nothing, Yeah, no, that's... no. That makes sense. So it's interesting because we're so comfortable in once we find something that works, we want to stick with it and not change it or something,
And that makes sense because that's not the definition of insanity, because the definition of insanity is I want something different. But if I want the result, then it makes sense that it's okay, I'm going to keep doing that as long as it gives me the result I'm looking for. Then it makes sense. Why would I spend my calories fixing something that isn't broken when there's all this other shit around me that is clearly broken that I need to tinker with and try to fix?
Yeah. So, that's great. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
You ready for Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan says, it's been said that the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Yet that's exactly what most people do. They tell themselves, today I won't get angry. Today I won't gorge myself. But they don't actually do anything differently. They try the same routine and hope it will work this time. Hope is not a strategy. Failure is a part of life we have little choice over. Learning from failure, on the other hand, is optional. We have to choose to learn. We must consciously opt to do things differently, to tweak and change until we actually get the result we're after. But that's hard. Sticking with the same unsuccessful pattern is easy. It doesn't take any thought or any additional effort, which is probably why most people do it.
Yeah, like we have this talk to our, like, or like I have this talk with myself, like, oh, like let's do, like there's internal talk about like let's do it better today or something.
Yeah.
But then was it better? It's just like, yeah, I just say let's do it better, and then I start going
like carry on
the
business
same way
as
as is
usual.
business as usual. And so it needs to equal to some sort of a actual pivot in actions or something, doing something or not doing something.
Yeah, and so like I like that he brought that up of like today I won't get angry, because I like that is sort of like my starting point when it's like, okay, I notice there's a behavior I need to change, and then there's the declaration of I'm gonna make this change, and then right after that is this like crickets, like where like no thoughts, no like problem solving, no ideas of what I could do differently.
We think like it's about the decision. I made a decision.
Therefore,
tomorrow I will go to the gym. Therefore, tomorrow I will go to the gym. But tomorrow comes and I don't end up going to the gym because that pattern continues of me talking myself out of it for all kinds of different reasons as the day progresses, right? Oh, I didn't get a good night's sleep, or all these different. We say this decision and then we carry on as usual. So that's so the decision is great, but then it cannot carry on as usual, because then and then what he was saying in there, that like we might get to a point where we start believing that we are actually doing it, but we're not doing it, because we're saying that to ourselves every day. I'm gonna not get angry. Or every day I'm not gonna get angry. But and then I'm gonna be like, no, I never get angry. But in actuality, there's all this anger throughout the day or something. Let's say maybe in some different form, but nevertheless, it is expressed in some way, and not calm way, maybe. Yeah.
there's something in here about like me taking the responsibility to learn. Like he's saying, learning from failure is optional. We have to choose to learn. We must consciously opt to do things differently, to tweak and change until we actually get the result we're after. But that's hard.
Yeah, that's hard to do the actual.
Let me try this a little bit differently. Let me try it. No, that didn't work. Okay. Like, because there's sometimes
knowing I need to go do this thing is like that's not the full picture, right? Yeah. We also have to go do those things, because we start feeling like, oh, I know what to do, therefore it's gonna get done, but
Yes, and now I'm sort of like interested in this part about the difficulty of that. Because what ends up happening is like a failure happens, and maybe a failure happens again and again. And maybe I can stomach the first couple, but now 6 or 7 are piling on. And it's starting to feel like I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to figure this out. I'm not cut out for this. there's this type of discouragement that starts to enter the picture. And that is what hard feels like. It's like I need to build up an ability to tolerate that as the hard thing of like, ooh, I tried something, I put my best effort forward, but sometimes my best is not enough and I fail. Okay, I still have control here. I still am a responsible agent here. Okay, let me pick myself up. Let me learn one new thing from this and try one thing differently and move forward. And crap, that didn't work either.
No, that didn't work.
And now, you know what I mean? And this can continue to go on and on and on. And over time, little wins start to build up that get the motivation to kick in where, you know, like there's ROI in it. So of course I'm going to keep going. Yeah. But initially when you don't see that ROI, when it's just try and fail and try and fail and try and fail and try and fail.
You don't know what you're gonna get for all your hard work.
Well, and what I've been getting so far is failure. So it's like try, fail. And so what I've been getting is and in all of that, I wasn't insane because I was trying things differently each time. And so like the fact that this is what that is. Top to bottom, left to right, like nobody escapes it. Even if someone hands you something on a silver platter, I'm going to put that in air quotes, you are still going through this process. And so to me, like the most valuable part of this is like, that's hard. Like, yes, that's hard. And so what? Like, and that's not a good excuse to either do things the same way over and over again, or to like give up on something. And why would I be giving up on something? Because I crave a life where I can just do something over and over again. So I'm just like, oh, this is too hard. This is too difficult. Why don't I just go over here? And this is like so much less complex. I can get into this. I can get some wins under me. Okay, I want to focus my attention here. Like let's say in like a job or something and give up my own dream over here. And this is like making it like very clear cut in my mind. Like, no, that is not the way to proceed.
That's not the way to proceed, yeah. Yeah, there has to be something more than just the job. Now, if somebody's getting satisfaction only from the job, then that's great.
I just brought that up as an example.
In your case, because you have competing interests.
Yeah, I'm saying that like when things get hard, people give up on them and to opt for an easier route. And I'm saying like that's not a good strategy. That's not a good strategy if I want to get to the end of my life and just feel fucking awesome about how it all went down.
You want to get to the end of the life and feel good about how it all went down. Yeah, who wouldn't want that?
And that's on me. Like there's nothing external to myself that can prevent that from happening.
Everyone, and so it's interesting, right? Because this is a perfect example. Like everyone wants that. Everyone wants to get to the end of their lives and say, "Oh my God, I lived such a great life. This was all worth it. This was an amazing experience. Wow, what a blessing that I was able to actually do it." Right? Like this is what we're imagining, that this is what we want, right? And we might imagine this every morning of like, "Oh, that's what I want," but then we don't.
But then we're living in this insane way.
We're living in this insane way where we continue to repeat the same thing over and over and over, not actually pivoting the actions. Only maybe, not pivoting much. Yeah, stuck in our own ways, and that's what he's saying. Like we might develop this belief that now we're like almost arrogant about. No, it is this way. I just have to keep going, right? But like we don't want to pivot, But what's actually needed is the pivot, and then keep going, right? But we're stuck in the like. No, this has been I have a belief that if I keep doing this over and over and over, I will get there, because that's what I know how to do, and I just need enough repetitions to get there. It's about these repetitions, right?
Right. And and that scenario you're talking about is like the scenario of someone trying to achieve like a specific goal. But a lot of people don't have a specific goal. But what you're saying is like they do get to every single one of us wants to get to the end of our lives and think this was amazing.
Yeah.
So, but whether that's a stated goal or not, it's somewhere in the system.
It's somewhere in us that we want.
But what we're doing is like pretending like that's not the goal.
Like we're pretending that's not
like
the
a lot,
goal.
and I'm not. Let me not say we, but like a lot of people pretend like that's not the goal.
Because we come to like that thing that like we don't know how to do it in order for it to really feel at the end of it. Like we did we lived it.
I think we have like an idea of what it would, like we know what our interests are and we know like what we feel called to move towards and move away from. So I do think we have some like instinct in that regard. So we know that like life feels better when I have more of this in my life and less of this other thing. But sometimes achieving that balance or that specific dynamic is like a mind-boggling task, you know, like if I decide that I'm the type of person who really thrives in nature, but also in beautiful spaces that are like well architected and well designed, and I love to do yoga and I love to do this, and I have this in my head of like, yes, I want to move toward that can feel so far away from like a person's like given day-to-day reality that it seems so mind-boggling complex that it's like I'd rather just sit here and watch TV than try to figure out what the trial and error is that will bring me closer to that idea. But I know somewhere deep inside of me that is how I want to be living more of.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing from this is like accept that is hard. Accept that it is mind-boggling difficult.
It's hard and it's all unknown.
And no one can show you that way specifically. Some people can come in and help you with like this aspect or that aspect.
They can kind of nudge you.
Right, exactly. They can be
helpful. But no one is gonna go do it for you or something. Yeah. That it takes like a lot of personal responsibility for yourself and say,
absolutely.
Oh, this actually is on me.
Yeah, it's all on me.
Yeah, it's all on me. Yeah. The thing that I have control of and I'm responsible for, is all on me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was like the other day.
And me is what?
I think me is just like whatever is the agent of this body. Whatever you want to call that.
Whatever can make those choices.
Whatever you want to call that. The agent of this body. Psh, here I am.
Whatever that thing is that has the choices to make over the things that we have control over or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever in us in the morning says, I want coffee or I want tea.
Yeah.
Or I want to stay in bed, or I'm going to go stand under cold water right now. Or I want to stay in bed. Oh, I really want to stay in bed, but I'm not going to let myself give in to that, and I'm going to get the F out of bed, and I'm going to go stand in that cold water right now. Yeah, it's very empowering. I find this to be so freaking empowering. And there was this quote, like, I don't know, maybe a week ago or something, that was like, what one man can do, another man can do. And that ties into this beautifully too, where it's like, you know, sometimes because life is so hard, I have wanted less for myself because I don't trust my ability to pull the things I want toward me. And then I start thinking a lot smaller and dreaming a lot smaller, and life becomes a lot smaller, and me inside of it too, like things just feel more dull, like more depressed, more gray, like I don't want things, I stop wanting things It's like, no, like I'm here to like live and move forward in this world. Like I want to want things. I want to be okay when the things I want don't work out. But I want to want things. I want to be here and be in it and experience it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with wanting. Only wrong with obsession of it, of what that want is.
Right.
But wanting is
Right.
all good. Fun.
Nice. Okay, this one kind of went into some cool places. Let us know. Let us know what's resonating with you out of today's. This was good. All right, see you tomorrow.